we are in the QBO gym, and this is where we have numerous hands-on exercises that simulate real-life scenarios that you may encounter as a bookkeeper. Each month covers a variety of new topics and scenarios, and to make it a little bit easier for you, we break it down into 4 different sections. So if you are looking to work on your bookkeeping skills, this is the place for you. And if you want to do an entire month's worth of these all on your own, be sure to join our free 5-day bookkeeping challenge. All you need to do is click on the link in the description. But let's go ahead and dive into today's exercise, which is being pulled from our September Year 1 Strength Training section, where we really focus on prepayments. At the top here is an animated video to give you a synopsis of what is going on in Craig's world this month. He is our fictitious business owner. Below that is an interactive pre-assessment quiz that relates to the video up above. Under that are all of the exercises in this section. And at the bottom here is an optional area where after you have gone through all of the exercises in this section, you will unlock some sample marketing posts that you can use on your LinkedIn to share with everyone what you have learned so far. So let's get into today's exercise where we are going to practice handling vendor deposits. Go ahead and click on that link to have the exercise come up for you. I have it here on the right side of my screen, so let's read through the scenario. Kate Whalen asked Craig to build her a new patio. Craig needs you to create the estimate and collect a 1/3 deposit in advance to help cover the initial cost of patio stone. He'll have to special order this from Norton Lumber and Building Materials, and they require a deposit. Follow the steps below to see how to record all of this. Now, you will need to be in the sample company to do this exercise. If you are not sure how to get into the sample company or get your own free QBOA account, be sure to click on the link in the description. I have the sample company here on the left side of my screen. This is the dashboard and what it will look like when you sign in. So let's go ahead and get started with the exercise. The Wayland hardscaping project is large, and Craig wants to collect an upfront deposit and then do a partial invoice about halfway through the job. Set up her estimate and use progress invoicing to collect her payments. Progress invoicing allows you to create multiple partial invoices from an estimate over the course of a single job. To use progress invoicing, you need to turn it on in QBO. So let's do that first. Let's go ahead and click on the gear icon and then click on Account and Settings. The gear icon is on the top left or right corner, of the screen. Click on that and then under your company, select Account and Settings. When this comes up for you, we want to click on the Sales tab. So Sales is over here on the left side. It's the third one down. Go ahead and click on it. You may get this pop-up right here that's a warning from QBO. I think this is just a glitch in the sample company and it doesn't actually mean anything. So just go ahead and click on the green OK button. Now we're going to click anywhere in the progress invoicing section to enable the editing. So that is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th one down. You can click on that pencil icon or just click anywhere to make it editable. And then next to create multiple partial invoices from a single estimate, go ahead and click on that toggle. It will turn green when you have it turned on. Now you will get this update or this pop-up right here asking about updating the invoice template. Just go ahead and click on the green update button. And then we're going to click on Save. And once you do, you will see that it has now been turned on. So now we can go ahead and click on the green Done button on the bottom right corner. And that setting has now been saved. Next, set up Kate's estimate from within her customer account and send an invoice for the initial deposit. So let's get to her customer profile. From the left navigation bar, we're going to hover over customers and leads and then select customers. So the left navigation bar is this black bar right here. Customers and leads is halfway down. Hover over that and select customers. And then we want to find Kate's name. So go ahead and scroll down. You will see it's about halfway down. Once you find it, go ahead and click on it. And once you do, you will see her customer profile appear. Her information's here, and then any transactions are down here. You may get some pop-ups, so if you do, just go ahead and click out of them. I'm also going to collapse this bar here by clicking on the 3 lines in the arrow. It just helps me see my screen a little bit better. Feel free to do the same thing if you would like. So let's click on New Transaction and then click on Estimate. New Transaction is the green button here. Estimate is the third one listed. Go ahead and click on that. Now, the nice thing about doing transactions within a customer profile is that their information will already appear for us. So we don't need to do anything. The estimate date is just going to default to today. So you can just leave that as is. Of course, in real life, you want to make sure that this date is matching when the actual estimate is going out. So in the product service field, we want to select design. So click into it, and then 2 times you will see that design is the first one that is listed. Go ahead and click on that. In the amount field, we're going to say $500. So click into that amount field, type $500. When you hit the tab key over, you will see that QBO updates this rate field as well as the total amount. In the second row on the product service field, we want to select hours. So go ahead and click into that. This time I am just going to type hours so that it comes up quicker. Once you find it, go ahead and click on it. And we're going to say that it's 240 hours worth of work. So in the quantity field, adjust that to 240. And then the rate is 60 per hour. So click into the rate field, type 60, hit the tab key over, and QBO has made the update for us. And then in the third row, we are going to add a new product service. So we're going to click on plus add new, click into that, click the down arrow, and then plus add new is at the very top here. We need to add that patio stone to Craig's products. So this is non-inventory. Craig just buys the stone as he needs it for specific jobs. It's not tracked. So go ahead and click on non-inventory. And then let's go ahead and fill it out. In the name field, we're going to type patio stone. So go ahead and click into that name field and type patio stone. In the income account field, we want to select decks and patio. So go ahead and click into that. And then decks and patio, just scroll down a little bit and you will see it here. Go ahead and click on it. Under purchasing information, we're going to click on the checkbox next to I purchased this product service from a vendor. So scroll down. It is the very bottom here. You'll see that checkbox. Go ahead and click on that. And then we're going to click on Save and Close. That's the green button on the bottom right corner. And now that has been saved. It has been set up as a product. And so now we can finish the estimate for Kate. In the amount field there, we're going to type $18,000. So for whatever reason, mine did not save here. So let me go ahead and search for it. If yours did not save here either, make sure that the name is selected. I'm not really sure why it did that. But go ahead and in the amount field, go ahead and type 18,000. When you hit the tab key over, you will see that it has been updated. And yes, this is a pretty big job for Craig. So we're going to go ahead and click on Save and Close. That's a down arrow right here, and then select Save and Close. And that estimate has been saved. And you can see that down here has been added to one of the transactions for Kate. Now, Craig wants to collect 1/3 of the estimate for the job up front. Start by marking the estimate as accepted. Let's say that this went to Kate, that we did a save and send rather than save and close. She approved it. And so now we need to mark it as accepted. So to the right of the estimate transaction, we're going to click on the down arrow and then select Mark Accepted. So here is that estimate right here. The down arrow is on the far right side. Click on that. And then Mark Accepted is the first one on that list. In the by field, we want to type Kate's name. So click into it and type her name, indicating that she has been the one to approve this estimate that Craig can move forward with it. In the date field, we're just going to select today's date. Yours may be different than what you see on my screen, and that's totally fine. It's just for default. It's just for the exercise purpose. In real life, you want to make sure that this date matches when Kate would actually have accepted this. Now go ahead and click on the green OK button. And now we can go ahead and convert this to an invoice. You'll see that this has appeared now that we have accepted the estimate. So go ahead and click on that. And you will get this pop-up window appearing for you, and it's going to provide you with a couple of options. The first option right here would invoice the entire amount, but you only want to collect 1/3 of the deposit. The second option right here lets you decide what percentage of the estimate to bill now. And then the third choice lets you customize the amount on each line item. The second choice is the easiest way to collect 1/3 deposit that Craig, the 1/3 of deposit that Craig wants. So we're going to click on the radio button next to percentage and amount. Go ahead and click on that. And then in the percentage field, we're going to type 33. So click into that, delete that 50% and type 33. When you hit the tab key over, you will see that QBO will automatically make the calculation of that 33%, that 1/3% based on the percentage here. So let's go ahead and create the invoice by clicking on the green button right there. And once you do, you will see the invoice has appeared. Now, this was the estimate that has now been converted into an invoice, and you can see that it is only showing as 1/3 of a deposit of the original amount is showing here, broken down how much she will owe for that 1/3 deposit. Now, in the terms field, we want to change this to due on receipt. If Kate accepts the estimate, you want her to pay this deposit amount as soon as possible. So click into that down arrow and select due on receipt. So now that it is going to be sent to her, she needs to pay it as soon as she receives it. And the way you could send it to her is just clicking on save and send. But for the purposes of this exercise, we're just going to click on save and close. So click the down arrow, select save and close. And now that invoice has been saved, you can see it has been added here and that it is due today or due on receipt. So Kate is excited about the project and swings by with a check to pay her deposit. So you can now record it. We're going to click on receive payment on that line, that invoice line that we just saw here. Go ahead and click on receive payment. And we will say that she has sent the check in. We're not going to do anything here. All we're going to do is just click on save and close, which is the green button on the bottom right corner. And that has been, transaction has been saved. And now we can see that she has paid that invoice that had that 1/3 deposit. Now that Kate has accepted the estimate, Craig is going to order the special patio stone she wants from Norton Lumber and Building Materials. The total bill for the stone will be $15,000. Unfortunately, the patio stone is not in stock and needs to be special ordered. Norton requires a deposit of 35%, which in this case is $5,250 for those special orders. So let's go ahead and create this expense by clicking on the plus new button and then selecting expense. The plus new button is on the top left corner of the screen. Click on that. Under vendors, select expense. In the payee field, we want to select Norton Lumber and Building Materials. So click the down arrow, scroll down, and then once you find their name, go ahead and click on it. In the payment field, we're going to select MasterCard. So click the down arrow, select MasterCard. That's how he is paid for it. And then in the category field, we're going to select prepaid expenses. Now, prepaid expenses is a current asset account. It reflects the fact that the deposit is still technically Craig's money until he receives the patio stone. On the balance sheet, these funds will show up as part of the company's assets. So go ahead and click into, I'm going to collapse this bar right here. Just go ahead and click on the arrow if you need to do the same thing. It just helps see my screen a little bit easier. And as a note here, this payment date is going to default to today, which is perfectly fine for this exercise. But of course, in real life, you want to make sure that whatever date the transaction was done, you want to make sure matches here. So again, in that category field, we're going to select prepaid expenses. I'm going to go ahead and type it in so that it's easier to find it. Once you do, go ahead and click on it. In the description field, we're going to type patio stone so that we know what this is for. So click into that field and type patio stone. The amount we said is that deposit amount, which is that 5250. So click into that, type 5250, hit the tab key over, and you will see that QBO has updated this amount in the expense transaction. This is all good to go. So now you can go ahead and click on the green Save and Close button that's on the bottom right corner. And now that expense has been saved. Now, shortly thereafter, Craig receives the patio stone for Kate's project, and you need to record the bill from Norton. So we're going to click on the plus new button and then select bill. On the top left corner, once again, that plus new button under vendors, select bill. And then once it comes up, we're going to fill it out. In that vendor field is Norton Lumber and Building Materials. So go ahead and click into it. I'm going to go ahead and start typing in Norton. Once you find it, go ahead and click on it. We're going to leave all of this up here as is for the purpose of this exercise. Of course, you may need to update it based on the bill that is received in real life. So in the category field, we're going to select decks and patios. So click into it, scroll down just a little bit, and you will see decks and patios. Go ahead and click on that. In the description field, we're going to type patio stone. So click the down arrow, select patio, or type in, patio stone. And then the amount is $15,000. Now you are using the total amount for the patio stone, not simply the balance on the bill. The entire amount needs to be recorded as job expenses. So that's why we're not just putting in the amount for that deposit. We need to put in the total amount for that bill here. So go ahead and type $15,000. In the second row of the category field, we want to select prepaid expenses. So click into that, and then you can type or you can scroll. Either way is perfectly fine. Once you find it, go ahead and click into it. And now we're going to record that prepaid expense, that deposit that he made. And we're going to type a negative 5250. Now, by using the negative amount here, you will be adjusting the bill to the actual amount owed, as well as updating the prepaid expense account to recognize that your deposit with Norton has been used. So if you click out of this or type, you can see that QBO is deleting what is the amount there. Now, if you notice that this amount is a little weird, it's because there are things in this item details grid. So these are from a prior Norton bill. QBO included them automatically, but we don't want it in this bill to only, but we want this bill to only reflect the purchase of the patio stone. So we are just going to delete them. Go ahead and click on the trash can icons next to each of those so that it is no longer showing here on the bill. If we scroll back up, we will see that the original amount was $15,000. We removed from that bill the deposit that was already made, and so the total balance amount is this $9,750. So let's go ahead and close out of it. We're going to click on that down arrow, select Save and Close, and now that bill has been saved. All right, so my screen just flipped on me. There we go. Now let's look at the balance sheet for this month to make sure that the vendor deposit is reflected accurately. So to get to that reporting center on the left navigation bar, we're going to click on Reports. That's about halfway down on this navigation bar here. Click on that. And then we want to run the balance sheet. So we're going to click on Balance Sheet, which is here under Favorites as well as under Business Overview. Go ahead and click on it once you find it. It's going to automatically run the report for you, but let's go ahead and change the report period to this month to date. So click the down arrow in this report period field, scroll down, or actually you don't need to scroll down, I was right over it. Change it to this month to date, and then we want to click on Run Report. Once again, that is this button right here. And now it has been updated for us. Now the prepaid expenses line in the balance sheet is showing as 0. Before you recorded the bill from Norton, it would have reflected the deposit of $52.50. So I'm going to scroll down here. I'm looking for it. There it is. I'm sorry, I went too far. Remember, it is under other current assets. So here that prepaid expense up here at the top, you can see that 0. But now before we had recorded that bill, as I mentioned, this would have reflected a $52.50. But now that Craig has the patio stone, the deposit has been applied to the bill. Now let's look at how the specific transactions are reported. So I am already in this classic view here. This is asking to switch to classic view. This is an optional step just to see the entire transaction on one screen. QBO is currently, Intuit is currently changing over the look of all of their reports to what they call modern view. This is the classic view. This is what it was originally. It may tell you that you need to switch over to the modern or to the classic view. I'm already in this. However, I think that what we need to do is see more of the transactions here on this prepaid expenses. So click on that 0. And then once you do, you will, so this is the transaction report. This is giving you more detail about what happened. This look is modern view. So let's go ahead and click on that switch to classic view. And now we can see everything here on in one report. This is the classic view of this transaction report. Now, Craig's initial deposit added $5,250 to the prepaid expenses account, which we can see right here. This is reflecting that although it was paid to Norton, it still belongs to Craig until he actually receives the stone. Once the stone is received, the deposit amount is deducted from the prepaid expenses account. Now it's now part of Norton's bill as a deduction from the total amount of $15,000. The remaining bill amount of $9,750 is reflected in accounts payable on the balance sheet. Now, if Craig kept deposits at multiple vendors, it would be a good idea to customize this report to reflect the current balance at each, similar to how we did this with the prepaid income account in the previous exercise. So to do that, you would again click on Customize. In this Group By field, you would click on the down arrow, select Customer, run the report once again, and this time now it will group it by this is Norton Lumber and Building Materials, that it would group that report by because it's by customer. So if you had multiple, they would all show here as different customers. But that's it. And then, sorry, one more thing. If you wanted to save it, you would just click on Save Customization, name the report how you want it, and then click on Save. So that is it. That is how you would record vendor deposits. Now, if you like this exercise and you'd like to do more like it, be sure to join our free 5-day bookkeeping challenge. All you need to do is click on the link in the description. We're going to move on to the cool down section with our next exercise where we practice reconciling the checking and savings accounts. And I will see you in the next video.